and so just right off Sam Ridley. Where the at some point in the very near future there will be a brand new traffic light.
Be a good red light. I think the mayor's blaming it on TDOT. Is that right?
Well, a lot of people want it.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Coming up in the very near future, that's the voice of Mike Sparks, and there was no truth to the vicious rumor that was out there, Mike, that you were kidnapped by Santa and headed to the North Pole to become an elf.
Yeah,
That didn't happen, did it?
Took my big life gift cards with me.
Felicia enjoyed those, I guess.
She enjoyed those. I'm glad it's over with, aren't you?
Well, a little bit.
Man, it's just so commercialized. That's it. Wrestling. I don't know what to shop for. You know?
Well, that's obvious.
Well, I don't. I mean, and most guys don't know what to get your wives.
That's true.
It's difficult. It's really frustrating. I mean, it's frustrating, you know?
Well, we guys do the best we can, and then we move on to the new year and have all these great ideas about how we're going to double our income and how we're going to lose all this weight and get fit. It's a good time of the year to start thinking about that.
You did shop Rutherford County.
Absolutely.
You visited this avenue or Snow?
I've been there once into one store.
Man, I'll tell you, that looks great. They did a great job. Just got hats off to the Murfreesboro Painting Committee on that. So I'll tell you, the architecture there looks great. And the parking is adequate, just sharp. I know we talked about this a lot on air years ago. We used to have to go to Hickory Hollow. And when I was a kid, we had to go to 100 Oaks or order out of the Sears catalog. Now we can shop right here in Rutherford County and keep our tax dollars here. And I want to compliment our school superintendent, Harry Gill, for also mentioning that to his staff, which is great for a director to be thinking along those lines.
Well, of course, what is it, 2/3 of the budget or something like that goes to education, so it's definitely a big need. I was going to ask you about what you thought about the letter that he sent out. Obviously, you think it's a pretty good idea.
Yeah, I mean, my hat's off to him because, a lot of people, they always say they need money, but they never offer no solutions for it. And at least he stepped up and offered a lot of, at least some positive input there, which is common sense. But how often do you see even a school teacher probably shopping in Cool Springs?
One thing
I've had to stress that to my wife and my mother-in-law. Y'all shop right here in Rutherford County. Don't be going Hickory Hollow. Don't be going outside.
One thing that has changed, the dynamic that has changed, and one thing that we did do in our household a bit. Now I have to admit, I forgot about that, but I didn't think about it until we started having this conversation. Is internet shopping?
Yeah,
that is a huge thing, and it's easy to sit there and click, and here it is. It's at your door.
Well, my experience with that, and there's a trade-off with that, because you've got that risk factor you've got to think of. If you order something, first of all, it may not come in. Then when you get it, it may not work. Then how are you going to get your money back? And there's still a lot of, there's reputable companies, but there's still a lot of scams on the internet. A lot of fraud out there, especially when it comes to car purchases. And I know people that's bought some cars, and I wouldn't buy a car, send somebody 10 grand, and you can't touch it, feel it, see it, everything. I'm not going to. Yeah, I know a guy that, I've seen some guys get burned big time and lose thousands of dollars when the people, it's a fraudulent seller.
Well, there are only certain things, and from big retailers that I would even consider looking at. But those are tax dollars that don't go to the counties. Those are tax dollars that the local portion, I guess, at least, is not collected. That's one reason why it's popular. But what I think a lot of people don't understand is, okay, let me do that. I don't have to pay the taxes, but in the end, you're eventually going to have to pay some kind of tax for the government to continue to work.
I see them stepping in and doing something eventually. I know that that's not very popular, but it's going to have to. You've got to pay taxes. I'm an advocate of low tax, efficient government, all I can be. But then the bottom line is, you got to have good schools, you got to have good roads, you got to pay teachers, and you got to have police and fire and sheriff's deputies and patrol cars. It is being kind of skewed.
Well, we are at the YMCA here in Smyrna, Laverne area, North Rutherford YMCA. They call themselves that, catering here to the Smyrna, Laverne area. And here at the Ronald Reagan Family Center, and that's another thing that it really is a family atmosphere, family center, a great place. I mean, it's been hopping here since school's been out. A lot of kids are here, and it's great to have a place to go. I mean, you know,
I'm getting tired of watching these people exercise. You know what?
Getting tired thinking about them
drinking a cup of coffee and watching them on the treadmill and getting wore out.
Yes, that's my exercise, I guess. We're going to talk a little bit about, I kind of alluded to the fact of New Year's resolutions, and a lot of times, I guess the biggest resolution out there is, I want to lose 20, 30, 40 pounds, whatever it is, and get into shape. And a lot of times we may make it a couple of weeks, 3, 4 weeks maybe, and then come February, Valentine's Day, we're totally forgotten about that. So talk a little bit about how we make that stick here in the next 30 minutes or so, here until the bottom of the hour. So I tell you what, let me give you the weather forecast here, and we'll take a short break, and we're going to ask a trivia question here during the commercial break too. So get your thinking caps on for that. Our winners, we've got 2 winners, Mike Williams and also Frank Caperton. So we thank both of those fellas for calling in, and both big winners this afternoon, Mike.
Yeah, it was fun. One last time.
Well, yeah, it's been a month though, or 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
He's quick.
He's quick on the dot. He's a smart trivia kind of guy. We have with us from the YMCA here this afternoon, Dwight Bond. And Dwight, what in the world is your title? I know everybody's interested in long titles, so do you have a nice long title?
Well, I do. I'm the active older adults wellness specialist here at North Rutherford YMCA, so I have the best job here. I get to work with our active older adult population. I'm also a certified personal trainer, so I do a lot of personal training, and here pretty much every day helping people achieve their fitness goals.
Well, as we mentioned here earlier, New Year's resolutions, I guess the biggest resolution is always, I want to get into better shape. Why is it that those things seem to, I don't know what the percentage is, but a large percentage of those goals sometimes fail? So what causes that? Is it not proper planning, or what have you seen from your past history?
Well, there's a multitude of things. I think probably the number one thing is a lot of people set unrealistic goals. People don't put on weight overnight, and the number one thing we have from people when they come in is, I want to lose 20 pounds, I want to lose 30 pounds, I want to lose 50 pounds. And that usually takes 10, 15, 20 years or more for them to accumulate that weight, and they'll come in and they'll want to take it off in 2 months. And that's just not healthy. The second thing that goes along with that, because they aren't eager and they're ready to get it off, and they've made that resolution, is they'll come in here and they'll work out so hard the first time they walk in the door that they can't move the next day. But those muscles are not used to being used. A lot of it too goes back to poor planning as well. They'll decide they're going to come in and work out 5 days a week without really sitting down and looking at their schedule and seeing if that's feasible. And if they miss one day, then it's so easy to say, man, I'm already falling off the wagon, I can't do it, I might as well just quit. I'll do it next year.
All of those things seem to fit. All of those things have happened, and it is one of those things that takes commitment, but it's a change, and we hear that a lot of times, and people don't. I mean, it's not one of those easy things to do, to change your lifestyle. Is there a way to ease into it, make gradual changes to the point where it's not this big shock to your body that you take this and that out of your diet, or how do you arrange that?
Well, we like to get people to take baby steps, small steps. We have just one of the premier facilities in Middle Tennessee, right here at the North Rutherford Y. And one of the things I always encourage people when they come in is to go slow. And a lot of times people are just chomping at the bit to really work out. And usually if I work out with somebody the first time, I'll say, I'd much rather you go out here today and this was too easy, and walk out of here and say, I ain't never going back in that place again. So I think a lot of it is just just goals, go slow, start slow. Instead of saying, okay, I'm going to work 6 days a week, start out saying, I'm going to work out 2 days a week. Once they develop that habit, then they can move reach to 3 days a week and 4 days a week. You know, we're creatures of habit.
Sure.
And old habits don't die easily, and new habits don't come easily. It takes time to develop those habits. But we've just got an outstanding staff there. We work with people to help them achieve their goals. And, you know, unlike some facilities, if I work with somebody as a personal trainer and goes down and lose 50 pounds in 2 months, can that be done? I'll say, yeah, it can be done, but I'm not going to help you do it. That's not what we need to do. So if I have somebody that comes in with unreal expectations, I feel it's my responsibility to tell them, you know, that's not healthy for you, that's unrealistic. Chances are you're going to fail doing that. So let's just try to be realistic and let's set smaller, more achievable goals.
Dwight Bond with the YMCA here at Smyrna. North Rutherford Y is joining us this afternoon on Rutherford Issues. Dwight, if we take a look at it, let's help the listening audience here formulate a good New Year's resolution. I mean, if we're going to do a New Year's resolution, let's do it the right way. What are the proper steps in getting started on such a change here to lose weight?
Well, there's a lot, but I think the first thing is you have to have proper motivation. You have to want to. And I would venture to say that probably a huge percentage of the listening audience today are parents. So let me give you the most important one. For the first time in the history of our country, right now, the current generation of children will not live as long as they kids. And it's due to childhood obesity, which creates a multitude of medical problems. So, you know, any parent listening, if they want their children to be healthy, they should aspire to be healthy. But from our standpoint is, first of all, you want to go to a facility and check that facility out. You know, if you go to a facility and you walk in and they say, you know, we want you here as a member, and if you sign up today, we're going to give you this incredible deal, I'm going to turn around and walk out of that facility. We don't do high pressure here. If you come here and you're thinking about joining, we're going to tell you what it costs. We're going to give you a tour of the facility, show you all the things we have to offer, which is just, we have a fantastic array of options for all of our members. And then we're going to let people make that choice, because every gym sees it January and February. They love January and February because people come in and they join, and then usually by March they're going, oh, we don't want them here. We want people to come here and work out. We don't want them to make a New Year's resolution. They want to change their lifestyle.
Is it the same in terms of price in January than it is in March or June here at the Y? Because it's not in some places, you know.
It is. And that's what I was referring to. A lot of places they'll cut you a deal, you know, and what they try to do is get you to pay for a year in advance. And they tell you if you pay for a year in advance, they'll give you this unbelievable deal, and it's an unbelievable deal. But they do that because they know that about 80% of those people won't be there in March, and then they go offer a deal to somebody else, so they can get those people to come in and do the same thing. And so they really, not that people do that on purpose, but they oversell a lot of memberships. Again, I'm not trying to downplay or saying things negative about other gyms, but we want people to come every day if they want, if they can come every day. And I know I've been members of gyms where they say, now you don't need to come every day, come every other day, or don't come any more than 3 times a week. And part of that is if a gym is very small, it doesn't have equipment, people don't have to wait, so that will turn people away. We are a family place here. We're a Christian-based organization. You don't have to be Christian here, but we want you to know that you can come here. Your children are going to be safe. They're going to be safe. You're not going to be exposed to anything that's offensive. Everybody that works at the Y goes through some training, job abuse. If there's training out there, you name it, we've done it. We all have to have it. And it's a great place. It's a great place to be a member. It's a great place to work.
If you have any questions for Dwight here in the next couple of minutes, 893-1450 is the phone number, 893-1450. So we have to get the right mindset. We have to have the will to want to do that. Is it, in your mind, something that we can do alone? How do we set realistic goals? If it's something that, you know, let's say we don't want to go the personal trainer route, what would you suggest? Kind of give us some kind of idea on the way to get started, and maybe the way to get started just alone, not necessarily with others.
Well, if you come here alone, which a lot of our people do, and some don't have family, or some of the ones who do have family don't join with them, I would encourage everybody to get involved in group fitness classes. We have a lot of people that go to group fitness classes, and we offer a multitude of classes, and they become like family to each other. They're a support group, and if they're not there, somebody will say, hey, they missed you. So they give you some built-in accountability, and that's what people need. They need somebody to hold them accountable. So if you can get involved in group fitness, which is free, that's part of your membership. When you come here, we don't charge anything extra for that. But we have the same thing out on the wellness floor. That floor is staffed all the time, so if you have questions about equipment. But you'll find out, say for instance, you come in here and you start getting on a treadmill, and you come at the same time every day, you're going to see other people here that every single day at that same time. So strike up a conversation with them, introduce yourself to them, and say, hey, let's walk together, let's work out together. And having a buddy system with that extra support, that's really going to help. It's going to help you be a lot more successful.
A lot of times motivation too is a factor, and you kind of mentioned that. I think that's why this Biggest Loser thing, the TV show, has really created a phenomenon. There are probably good and bad points to all of that, but just the fact that others are challenging and you're working, people are so competitive. Do you encourage that type of thing in terms of setting goals and reaching those, and what are your thoughts on that?
I think that's great as long as you keep that realistic. But one of the things that I know that I see as a trainer and other trainers who say the same thing is most people, they don't really realize how much they are capable of achieving. So sometimes they set the bar too low. And Biggest Loser shows people what they can actually accomplish. Those people, they lost phenomenal amounts of weight, but it's not about the weight. It's about improving their lifestyle and adding years to their lives and being able to enjoy a better quality of life. That's the thing that's so good about getting fit. It's not just about losing weight. It's about improving your life, and having the strength and the energy and vitality to do the things that you enjoy.
Sure. Dwight, great facility here for anybody out there that's in North Rutherford County. For those who are in the Murfreesboro area, there's a YMCA there on Thompson Lane. So there's a Y right around the corner from anybody within our earshot this afternoon. So I encourage them to head over.
Yeah, the Ys are great places. We've got one of the best associations in Middle Tennessee, YMCA's in the country, and we stretch all the way from Clarksville over to Cookville, down to Columbia on the American, and we've got, I don't even know how many Ys we have here, I should know, but we've got Ys everywhere. We've got great facilities. Again, they're family friendly, and they help people reach their goals. And that's the other important thing is it needs to be the individual's goal. It needs to be their goal. And if they set the goal, they don't need much of that.
Well, Happy New Year, Dwight.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us on today, and thank y'all for coming out every week. Coming out and having a show.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
We enjoy it, and that was Dwight Bond here joining us this afternoon from the North Rutherford YMCA. Overcast, 49 degrees, your forecast right now.